Back to a brand new video on the channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be going over something a bit different here and showing you some of the more real yield plays that I'm currently doing in DeFi ready for this bull market. Okay, now look, I've heard the comments, I see what you guys are saying, and I'm going to change things going forward with the channel. And in this video, I wanted to see what you guys think of this style of content where I show you actual, yield farming in terms of how it was designed for DeFi in the original place. And this is what I'm doing with some of my blue chip assets because I've been dollar cost averaging into the market for a while, and I do always continue dollar cost averaging into the market. So yeah, and what I do with that is I then stake that to earn additional rewards instead of it just sitting in my wallet. Then I go ahead and stake it. Now, of course, there are risks involved in terms of exploits and hacks. So I'm going to go over some of the biggest and some of the best returns you can get right now, which are semi-safe, right? Of course, there's always risks with DeFi. And look, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Always do your own research and be very careful about what you're investing in crypto and DeFi because it is the riskiest stuff in the world. Now, with that being said, let's show you what's currently going on in the market. So before we get into the actual methods, let's go ahead and show you the market cap. So I like to use DeFi.llama.com. It kind of shows you the current TVL in DeFi, the change in 24 hours, and you can see the history of DeFi, right? So if we take a look back in December, we were 180 billion in TVL. Now, that isn't necessarily the whole picture because this is just what the kind of protocols that DeFi Llama tracks, which is a lot of them, but it's not everything. So I would say we're probably around 200 billion back in December of 21. And as you can see, a lot of money has come out of DeFi because it's a bear market. A lot of people leave, and it's just how it goes. So that is currently what the market is currently sitting at, 44 billion. Now we have started to have some sort of reversal. I know it's a small one in hindsight, but if we take a look, we've had some sort of reversal here since this pump recently. We were down to 38, so about 5 billion more dollars has come into the DeFi space. So what does this mean? Well, if we go down here, we can see all of the different projects that are being farmed in, right? These are different protocols that people are staking assets in and earning a passive income through this. Now, I'm going to go over some very simple methods in this video. If you want me to go more detailed into actual yield farming strategies and that kind of thing in the future, then I can definitely do that. But in this one, we're just going to go over a very simple strategy in terms of staking Ethereum and earning some passive income on your blue chips. Now, I will say that, of course, the returns aren't going to be super high because this is staking things like Ethereum. There's not too much risk in terms of the asset. So, of course, Ethereum's risk and it goes up and down, but Ethereum is not well known, right? So if you go for more of a less known coin, there are bigger returns, but also you're giving yourself a bigger risk. And then when it comes to these degen crypto plays, these DeFi plays that we do, I do, of course, there's a lot more risk there, but the reward is a lot greater if you can time it right and it lasts, okay? Which is always the risk that you're taking there. However, in this video specifically, we're going to be going over safe yields because I do this myself. And in this wallet, I've got a fresh wallet with a few Ethereum here. So I am going to go ahead and show you how to stake. We'll stake maybe at 1 ETH into one of these protocols, and I'll show you how you can unstake and all the good stuff. So let's go ahead and do it. So what we're going to be using, and first of all, if you just want to keep it very, very simple, you can go to centralized exchanges such as Kraken. Now on Kraken, you can get between 4 and 7% a year on your Ethereum. Yearly rewards between 4 and 7. Right now is between 5. It's like 5 point something 7%, right? So you can go ahead and do that on Kraken if you like. Now, what I will say with Kraken is you can't unstake your Ethereum at the moment for another, they said 6 months after the merge. So you've got a few months left before you can start to unstake on Kraken. So just keep that in mind. You can't unstake for another 6 months. But if you're staking Ethereum between 4 and 7% a year, I don't know why I'd unstake within the next couple of months because, again, the price, yes, it's moving right now, but these are more longer term for the bull market, right? Because those rewards, yes, you may only see between 4 and 7%. However, when the bull market comes, if you believe Ethereum is going to go to all-time highs, which is another 3x from here or even above that, then those returns are going to be a lot higher than what this says. Plus, you're earning some additional ETH during that time. So not a bad deal there. But of course, only invest money you can afford to lose. Of course, again, I am not a financial advisor and do not take this as financial advice. These are just some ideas in DeFi to earn some more real yield. Okay. So Kraken, as you can see here, has a bunch of different coins. You can stake Algorand, Cardano, Cosmos, Ethereum, Flow, Carver, Kasuma, Miner, Polkadot, Matic. Matic's a pretty good reward there. Secret, Solana, Tezos, the Graph, Tron, Bitcoin, and a bunch of other stuff. Okay. You can also do stable coins here, which on USD gets you 4% a year, which isn't too bad, better than the banks. So you can go ahead and do on Kraken. Also, Binance, you can also stake on. Now, as you can see, Litecoin, you're going to get 1.4%, XRP 1.39, 3.5 BUSD. Now, you will see some of these are sold out, which means they have an allocation for how much money can actually go into these pools. So, yeah, just bearing that in mind. But if you go down here, you can see there are some other tokens that you have to lock for. Now, a lot of these are between 30 and 120-day lockups, and you can do flexible locks. On some of these, you can get 4.2% on XVS. I've never heard of that token, if I'm being honest. Aave, you can get 5.39%, etc. So those are centralized exchanges. However, we're talking about DeFi. So if you want to go super simple and do it on a centralized exchange, you want to risk that on a centralized exchange, then go for it. However, I personally like the whole decentralized aspect of it because you're in control. It's your keys. And also, there's typically slightly higher yields when it comes to decentralized stuff. So for this, I am going to be showing you Lido, okay? Liquidity stake for staked assets. Now, if we go into DeFi Llama, here it is. You can see there's over $7.66 billion locked up in Lido. Okay, so this is the biggest pool that people are using, or the biggest protocol in DeFi that people are using, followed by MakerDAO, Aave, and Curve. And we're also going to be covering Curve because you need that part of the Lido strategy. So over on Lido, you can see the 7.6 billion, which is the largest DeFi protocol, 343 million total rewards, and over 250,000 stakers. So there are a few networks that it supports. Ethereum, where you're going to get 5.2% a year. Solana, 6.3% a year. Polygon, 6.3% a year. Polkadot, you're going to get 16.2%, and Kusuma, you're going to get 15%. So for me, what I'm doing at the moment is staking both Ethereum as well as Polygon on Lido. Okay, so how it works is when you go ahead and stake, essentially that money is then used for essentially this money here, this APR, is returned to you by trading fees on the network, etc. So that's where the quote real yield comes from. Now, again, take that word loosely because, of course, there's still risks for Lido. They can still get attacked, they can get exploited, they can get hacked, etc. They have been audited. There is an audit. Of course, they're the biggest DeFi DEX in the world and DeFi protocol in the world. They have been audited. You can find the audit on their page. Audits right here. You can see about the developers and all the good stuff if you want to look into that, which I do recommend researching Lido before you do anything with your money. Always research it, okay? And just remember, it's still risky just because it's on Lido and because it's the biggest DeFi protocol. DeFi is risky no matter what you do in it, so keep that in mind. All right, so let's go ahead and click on Stake Now for ETH. So essentially what you do is you will go ahead and let's connect up our wallet here. MetaMask, and we'll go ahead and connect this one up, and you can see we've got about 3 ETH in here. We're going to go ahead and stake 1 ETH, but essentially when you go ahead and put your Ethereum in, you're gonna receive 1 ST ETH. Now this just stands for staked ETH. It's the same price. However, another risk is ST ETH could be depegged to the Ethereum price, so keep that in mind. There's another risk there. But yeah, you essentially go ahead and you stake this ETH and you get ST ETH in return for that Ethereum that you deposited. Now you're going to go ahead and get 5.2% per year right now, which again does change every now and then depending on the network and all that good stuff, volume and whatever else. Total staked with Lido is 4.9 million Ethereum, 15,000 stakers. I think that's 15,000. No, sorry, 152,000. And the market cap for STETH is 7.4 billion. Okay, so what is Lido? Lido is a liquid staking solution for Beacon Chain backed by industry-leading staking providers. Lido also lets users stake their ETH without locking assets or maintaining infrastructure whilst participating in on-chain activities, e.g. lending. So that's exactly how the return is generated. Our goal is to solve the problems associated with initial Beacon Chain staking, illiquidity, immovability, and accessibility, making staked ETH liquid and allowing for participation with any amount of ETH to improve security of the Ethereum network. So one big thing is how it can be converted to ETH. So there's no way to withdraw ETH Sorry, here we go. There's no way to withdraw ETH from staking until withdrawal is enabled on the Beacon chain. ST-ETH holders may exchange their ST-ETH to ETH on liquid pools such as Curve. So we're going to go over that in a second because it's very easy to go ahead and unstake on here, even though you can't do it directly in Lido. So let's go ahead and stake this 1 ETH here on this wallet. Gas fees on ETH aren't too bad right now. I mean, $4 to stake 1 Ethereum isn't too bad there. So let's go ahead and confirm that. And once that's done, we will go ahead and show you how you can go ahead and unstake if that is something you want to do. Because I understand, look, if ETH tanks and you want to unstake it or whatever the case is, you can have access to it. It's fairly liquid. So let's wait for that to go ahead and do it. There we go. Your new balance is now 0.9999 ST. ETH, your staking operation was successful. So there we go. I am now staked. And if you go into the rewards tab, you can see how much ETH you have actually generated from that, which is pretty cool. So how do you go ahead and get this ST-ETH out and get your Ethereum back, or swap it to, if you want to swap it to USDC or whatever the case be, you need to go over to crv.finance. Now, don't be put off by this website. If you looked at the old DApp, you'd be even more confused than what it currently is. I quite like this new DApp. But essentially, what you need to do is you need to come over to the swap page, come to swap, and you want to find ST-ETH, which is your staked Ethereum, and to Ethereum, and you want to put in the max amount, and you can go ahead and get your Ethereum out like that. Another way to do it is just convert it to USDC. Exactly the same thing. You're going to get the dollar amount which your ST-ETH is worth. And by the way, this the reason I've got basically like 0.00001 point less ST-ETH is just slippage. Okay, it's very standard for any network to have that slippage. So you click approve spending, it's just going to approve that transaction. Click swap and you'll have the USDC. Curve is one of the most trusted and one of the best, in my opinion, stablecoin dexes in DeFi. So another thing is, if you want to stake directly on Curve, you can do so. Again, don't let this fool you, but you can go into like this stablecoin pool here, get you 2.16% per year, and you're going to get Curve tokens there. This one right here is going to get you between 2.46% and 8% a year, which is nice. There you go. There's SUSD, which I might have a video on this in a couple of days, because this is using synthetics staking, where essentially you go ahead and mint this SUSD by buying synthetics and minting it, and then leveraging your synthetics tokens to go ahead and borrow SUSD. And then you can go ahead and use that collateral to then again mint that SUSD, and then use that to farm on Curve for about 8% a year, which is very nice. So this is another thing you can go ahead and do. You can just go ahead and stake directly tokens into Curve if that is something that you're interested in doing. But for me, I'm sticking with blue chips, staking on things like Lido, and that is how I do it during the bear market. Dollar cost average and stake that, get those passive rewards, and in the bull market, my hope is to go ahead and profit from that, right? And make more than this 4% a year, 5.2% a year, sorry, at the moment, to then go ahead and sell those rewards in the bull market and make a profit. That's how essentially this strategy works. Now, the reason this is good in the bear market is because prices are down to what they were a year ago, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, sorry. So potentially going into and dollar cost averaging, again, responsibly. Don't put everything you have into this, because this is still risky. This is still crypto. Crypto can go down as much as any DeFi project can, right? Of course, there's less risk buying Ethereum than there is some of these DeFi coins, but there's still risk involved, of course. This is DeFi. So again, not financial advice. Always only invest money you can afford to lose, because this is super risky. So yeah, there you go. That is essentially how I do it. And another thing you can do on Lido is, I really like Polygon for as a layer 2 for Ethereum. So you can go and stake that for 6.3% a year. I like Polkadot and the different layers they're building. So you can go and stake that for 16.2% a year. So there's a lot of different options you have here. If you have a favorite layer 2 coin, maybe you like AVAX, maybe you like BNB or some other token in, on CoinGecko, or top market cap coin for the next DeFi run, the next bull market, there's probably a way to stake that. And I'm going to cover a few videos on how to generate this quote real yield. So there you go. That is the way that I do it with Lido. Very simple staking here. Again, if you want to do this method, then you want to go ahead and stake on Lido, and then to go ahead and unstake that, essentially you just need to come over to Curve, go go to swap, find your SETH, which it should be up here somewhere, STETH, and swap that for either Ethereum, or you can swap it for USDC, USDT, whatever you want, right? So there you go, guys. That's going to be it for the video. Very simple video here. And the reason, by the way, that Curve is good for stablecoin swaps is because there's a lot less slippage than there is on something like Uniswap or on other DEX for stablecoins. So Curve is the best swap for stablecoins for sure. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to down below. Let me know what you think of this style of content. If you want more of this sort of bear market strategies and ready for the bull market runs, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.